My doctor told me I had to go on bed rest, because I was bleeding terribly. And then it was now when we got into the theater and then they cut me open, they discovered that the umbilical cord was around her neck. And, this was something that could have killed me if I decided to go with a vaginal birth.
In a world brimming with innovation and progress, there exists a harsh reality for millions of mothers and babies. For them, the miracle of childbirth is overshadowed by the looming threat of death. As of 2020, Nigeria's maternal and child mortality rate soared to a heart-wrenching 1,047 deaths per 100,000 live births, ranking it the third highest in the world. This means that every 2 hours in Nigeria, a mother loses her life-giving birth, and every 6 hours, a child takes its first breath, only to have it cruelly snatched away. Eden Venture Group is determined to tackle the unique challenges faced by mothers, newborns, and children by ensuring access to quality healthcare services. The fight against maternal and child mortality in Nigeria is far from over, but with every voice raised and every action taken, we can rewrite the story.
The reason why I advocate for maternal and childcare rights is because I had a first-hand experience of, being pregnant with my own child. My kid is 2 years old now. I went through a process that honestly I think could be better. I didn't need to feel dehumanized. I didn't need to suffer, as much as I did. And I feel like women in that very delicate stage of their life should be treated with a lot of care, especially knowing how women go into the labor rooms and don't come out alive. When I got pregnant, I didn't have any kind of insurance. I later got insured under, the NHIS, which is the National Health Insurance Scheme. But at the beginning, right, I didn't have any kind of medical cover. And I think this is something that everyone should have, as you're going into this process. I had to do a CS. But even the process in doing that CS was a whole pot of drama on its own. And one day we went to the hospital and I religiously check my weeks. I say I'm 36 weeks, I'm 37 weeks, I know I'm 38 weeks. And then I see this doctor. First of all, the doctor I have met incredible doctors in my life, but this particular doctor he wasn't it at all. He was very flippant. He wasn't concerned. He said I was even overdue. And I was like, no, I am at 36 weeks. He was like, no, you're overdue. And we have to induce you. And he wasn't listening to me because I came with all my hospital documents. And I was like, no, this is not happening. Luckily, my mother-in-law is a matron in the hospital, was a matron. I was able to, at least with the help of my mother-in-law, ask for another doctor. And that doctor was, more receptive to, my concerns. And he said the other doctor was wrong. And he said, yes, and you know what? After the next week, in that time, you would then be due. Let's have a conversation on what you want to do. And we did that and we came back. And by that time, I was already overdue. And he said, what do you want to do? We can induce you medically with this drug, or you can have an elective CS. And I said, I'm going to have an elective CS. And, that was how I had my baby. I think one of the first steps in terms of, empowering young mothers to request for better conditions is to let them know that they can actually ask for better conditions. Because I was able to do that because I knew that if I talk, there's somebody here that will be able to defend me. But most of them come thinking that the doctor knows everything. The system knows everything and they shouldn't be able to speak. What affects one woman literally affects the collective of women. Because you see one woman going through something the other day doesn't mean that you or somebody couldn't go through something the other day. Like, take for instance, my Auntie Tina that died because she didn't go to ANC. I think she died when I was about 12 or 13, and I'm in my 30s now. And I still remember it as clear as day. Those things have a way of impacting our lives. She could still be here today, but she's not. This is a call to action for you to get involved in whatever way you can.
Let's create a world where every birth is a celebration. Join the conversation now. Visit www.edenventuregroup.com/MNCH to learn more.